Hello, today I'll be coding this black and white animation. So let's get started. We're going to have a number of tiles, and that's going to be 5 tiles. We're going to have a grid, and here we're going to set a style, and this is going to set a total number here, and this is going to be based on the total number of tiles, so it's going to be the total number of tiles minus 1. Now we're going to loop here, and here we're going to set the tile elements, and here for the style we're going to have something like this. So the current index, and this one is going to be whatever we have left, minus 1 or null, because we don't want something smaller than 0. So this should do it. This should okay, this gives us the result we wanted. So now here we're going to set the dimension for the whole grid, and that's going to be something like this. And then we're going to have the edge length for one tile, and that's going to be this over 3. Okay, something else we're going to set is the base color, and that's going to be a black. And then we're going to have a secondary color, and that's going to invert this base color. Okay, so now that we've set this, let's first of all we're going to create a mix-in here. So mix-in, let's make this a square, and we're going to have an edge length, which is and a color, a background color. Okay, so obviously we're going to have something like this, and the height is going to be the same value, and then we're going to have the background, and that's going to be the color. Okay, so now we're going to do this for the grid. Include square, and here we're going to have that dimension and the base color. And just so that we can see stuff better, HTML, we're going to set background, let's set something like this, and now we're going to be able to actually see the grid. Now actually set this to 1. Okay, now we're going to do something similar for the tile. So we're going to have include square, and this is going to be just the default. Okay, so this is not the grid, this is the tile, sorry, tile. Okay, so now this does it. Now for all divs, we're going to set position absolute, and we're also going to set top 50% and left 50%. Okay, and now that I've done this, I can just collapse this, and here I'm also going to set a margin, and this is going to be minus half the edge length. Okay, so now that I've done this, I've put the whole grid in the middle and the squares in the middle. Now I'm going to set a transform here, and first of all I'm going to have a rotation, and this is going to be a calc value. And by the way, this is not going to work in Edge because Edge doesn't support calc inside rotate. So here I'm going to have that I index times 360 degrees over that total number of tiles distributed around. So now that I've done this, this doesn't do much by itself, but I'm going to have translate, and this is going to be 100%. Oh, sorry, stay on page. I don't know what I was going to do there, but okay, now this does it, and actually I'm going to set this as a position, and then I'm going to set a transform to this position. Okay, now one more thing here, I'm going to have last child, And here I'm going to, okay, no, that worked. I'm going to have an initial value, and this is going to be scale 0, rotate minus 90 degrees. Okay, and here I'm going to set transform to this initial value. So that scaled that thing to 0. And then I'm going to have, I think I can collapse this safely. I think I can do a collapse there as well. Okay, so now that I've done this, I'm going to have a slide animation. So that's going to be keyframes slide. So here, one more thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set a percent value. So this is going to be something like a base percentage value. So let's say it's going to be something like 9%. So here within, what's wrong? Okay, nothing. So 0%, then I'm going to set that percentage. And here I'm going to have transform, and this is going to be the position initially, and then I'm going to have something similar, and this is going to be 100% and 100% minus this percentage, and here I'm going to have translate y 100%, and then I'm going to have rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so let's say I do that. Actually, let's bring this on the same line so that it's okay, looks better like this. So now that I've done this, I'm going to set this animation slide, an animation duration is in out infinite. So let's see how this works. Okay, so it doesn't. Let's try. Okay, translate y 0 doesn't work. Rotate 0 degrees, and I think that's actually minus 90 if I recall correctly from the animation. Yeah, because it doesn't go clockwise when it's black. So yeah, this is good for now. Now one more thing I want to do here is overflow hidden. So that's something I want to do, and then I'm going to have another set of keyframes, and this one is going to be zoom. And here I'm going to have just the initial value, and here it's going to be none. Okay, and here I'm going to use animation name zoom. So this should do it. And as you can see, it works, but I want to have that switch from black to white. So what I'll do is take this duration and set it. I'm going to set it right here, like this. So now I have the tile, and I can collapse the whole tile thing. Now I'm going to have another set of keyframes here, keyframes, and here I'm going to have 50% filter invert 1 keyframes switch, sorry. And here I'm going to have animation switch twice that animation duration, steps infinite. So yeah, this should do it for the switch animation. So yeah, this pretty much does it. Now I can do a few more things to prettify the whole thing. So let's say, actually here on the grid I can do something like border radius 3 pixels, sorry, like this. Okay, and now on the body I can do something like a filter, and maybe I don't want that big of a contrast, so let's say contrast something like 0.7, and this should gray out a bit. Okay, now something I mocked up when I did this, so let's make this height full height. Okay, so now, okay, now I can also do something like a drop shadow filter, and this one is going to be, let's say, something like 1 pixel, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, and make something like dim gray. Okay. Okay. I can do something else, something like add something like a sepia. Something like this. Okay, it might be exaggerated, so let's do something like 0.2. Is it milder this way? Or maybe make it 0.1, like that. Okay, this is way better. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like this. This is pretty much the result we've been after. So actually I can do one more thing in this switch here, because let's see, I can do a transform, and this is actually scale x -1. Does this do it? So let's see, have it like this. Yeah, and this does it, because it goes one way and then it goes the other way. So yeah, because yeah, that's kind of how it goes. One more thing I can do here is just increase this. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm going to leave it at this. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have and you want me to be able to do more stuff in the future, please consider supporting my work in one of the ways explained in the description below. You can do it with a donation, there's a link, and any amount helps, or you can get me something off my Amazon wishlist. In any event, thanks for watching.